I don't have any of my rings on today. I'm naked,
Oh no!
except for
We
this guy.
cannot have a show without that big ass ring. Go get it. No
Should
show,
I?
no ring, no show.
I
We
don't
ain't
know
doing
where.
that.
I don't know where they are. Okay, hold on. I'll
We
get
ain't
them.
doing that. No, ma'am. Mm-mm.
Okay, hold on. No, text me his name and so that I'll remember it. It's gonna
Mm-hmm.
help me.
Shimmy a
You know
show
what I
start.
was listening to? I was
Are we
listening
gonna
to
start?
no, never.
Hit the damn record and see
Hit
if
the
we can
damn
do
record. See we record something.
Welcome to the Unlikely Friends podcast.
Where two friends living abroad talk about race, race relations,
How we feel about it, what it means to us.
and everything in between.
Gossip.
So, if you are listening on Spotify and if you are watching on YouTube and if you are following us on Facebook, please like, share, and subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you know when we post a new video. So, ding, ding, baby, ding, ding. How you doing, friend?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing okay. I'm doing just fine. I have
hmm
no complaints.
No
No
major
complaints
complaints.
whatsoever. Oh, that's not true. I'm
Good.
lying. I
Oh,
have a
what's the
complaint
complaint?
because that cat keeps coming in my garden, causing
Mm,
havoc.
hmm
And I had a contractor come here to my garden and ask him, I was like, look, can you put up a cat proof wall? And he said, oh, yeah,
mm,
no problem, because it's made of plastic and some kind of roly thing. Like they can't like jump
hmm
onto it and they can't get over it.
It's like chicken
Because
wire, kind of, huh?
no, 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 this is like solid plastic. It's solid. That's what he said. That's how he explained it to me
Oh,
anyway. Because last night my cat was going crazy because this cat, I'm sitting here on my balcony. You can't see it, but my garden is just here. And I have a
mhm.
table here, and there are two big windows. So this cat climbs over my wall, sits on the table because it's under an eaves, she
Mm,
sits
mhm,
there so she
mhm.
doesn't get rained on. She's like, "Oh, and I have another cat to talk to." My cat last night, I couldn't get to sleep for shit. She kept going, and I hear because she's sitting there not scratching on the window, but they're playing with each other through
Yeah.
the window.
Why
And
don't you
I was
take
like,
this other cat in?
"Ew,
Well,
no,
why not? He
gross."
obviously is interested in being at your house.
Because these, first of all, Sheba is 9,000 years old, and whatever germs she has outside, I don't want her to bring into the house because it'll kill
Hmm.
Sheba. Sheba has never been outside.
Hmm.
Um, I don't know if it is a male or female. I don't know if it's spayed or neutered. It probably isn't. And if
Yeah,
it
probably.
isn't, it's just a disease bag right now. It's just very dirty and diseased, and I love cats, but this cat looks gnarly. He looks like he's been through a couple of things.
Disease bag.
Yeah, he looks like he's or she has been through a couple of things. So
For those
I
of
don't
you
want to
that
bring it
don't
into
know,
the
we have
house.
a lot of wild cats in Istanbul.
Yes.
It's the city of cats. They're everywhere, like really
Hmm.
everywhere. And so it is not uncommon to go into a shop to see a cat or to go walking down the street and see like 16 cats. I mean, they're everywhere. And I'm thankful for them because it seems like this city doesn't have a huge rodent problem, and
There isn't.
probably
There is
for
no
that
rodent
reason.
problem in
I've
Istanbul.
seen two rats in as long as I've been here. I've been here over a decade.
I've
That's a
never even
lot.
seen one.
It's a long time to only see a couple of rodents.
I've
So,
never
I
even
mean,
seen one. So
yeah. So, I mean, they do a great thing for the city, but it's also, I mean, they're everywhere and they often have diseases and they often can't survive for a long time if they're, you know, wild,
yeah, yeah.
feral cats. So, I don't know. I mean, so I've been thinking about where I went to school and how lucky I was that I got to spend time there. And I will always love this little city in the South. Um, it healed my heart. It broke my heart also. There's all kinds of things that happened in Charleston, South Carolina. Um, Healed my heart because that's where I had my heart surgery. Broke my heart because a lot of things have happened there. So, in my personal life and also just life. I wanted to talk about the slave trade because Black history is just that, right? That's where,
Well, it's some of that.
that's the basis of like why we have so many people in the US. That's how they're there,
Yeah. Well, yeah.
unfortunately. So I thought I would start by talking about like when it started. It was like 1783 to 1808. In that span of 25 years, just alone in Charleston, South Carolina, 150,000 to 200,000 people came from Africa. 150,000 to 200,000. Never mind the people that we lost at sea, because I don't
Huh.
know if you've gone into a
Huh.
deep dive of those
Huh.
boats.
Yes.
It was not okay.
Yeah.
So, yes, but that's a lot of people. And in Charleston, we still have some historic buildings, around on the peninsula. And one of those buildings is on Chalmers Street. It's a cobblestone road. It's one of the only cobblestone roads in Charleston in the peninsula. And on that street is the old Slave Mart. And there are two markets in Charleston. One is like right on Market Street. People think that that's where people bought and sold people. That's not where it
Hmm.
happened. It was more like a fresh market.
Right.
Um, but the actual Slave Mart was on Chalmers Street, and it's now a museum. It's gone through some changes because of like finances and things like that. But as I know right now, it's a museum. And years ago, the director of the museum, his name was Ista Clark, I think. Was that his name? Yes. He was just looking in the building and he noticed there were bricks with like small, it looked like like fingerprints.
Hmm.
And slaves did all kinds of labor in Charleston. They harvested rice. There were cotton fields, lots of things. But one of the things also was hand making bricks for buildings. And they would take the clay from the rivers and hand mold them to create bricks. And this director of this building noticed these small fingerprints, and they were likely a child's fingerprints
Hmm.
of bricks that were the building where people were sold and bought,
Made by children.
made potentially by children.
Oh God.
I know. I know. I know. So what he did, because he was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this. And so he started asking other buildings like in Georgia and things like that to take photo. He went around and took photos to kind of put together this collection of these fingerprints, be they small or large or whatever,
Yeah.
their handprints. And he called this exhibition what did he say? He called it an impression easily missed.
Oh, nice.
I thought that was it was, what a nice way to put it. Because you
Yeah.
wouldn't even see, you just walk past it and
You
wouldn't
would
know.
walk past it. Yeah.
You wouldn't know at all, but these little fingerprints are there from potentially child labor
Oh God.
as slaves. I know. Anyway, the museum is interesting. It's since changed directors. He's no longer the director of the museum, but it's Charleston is rich with history. There's all kinds of really lovely museums there and plantations, and I think they're doing their best
Yeah.
to honor their history. I think it's been complicated. I think in the '90s it was a little bit Mm, you know, I think
Yeah.
it was not as good as it is now. I think there's a lot more communication and education and honoring what happened and the lives of people that were there. And I think they're doing their best
Hmm.
as a small city in the South that had a huge impact many, many, many years ago and had lots of people come in through their port. I think they're doing their best to honor the history of what happened
Oh,
there.
I didn't know. Oh, wow. I didn't know.
I didn't know that either. I mean, as many years as I've spent there, I don't think I actually went to that museum. I went to a lot of museums. I went to a lot of plantations um, because I worked at a museum and I had relationships with other museum workers, but uh, I never saw those bricks. But the next time I go, I will definitely be looking for them.
I have something that's probably going to make you a little bit sad.
Hmm.
Just a little
Sadder,
bit.
sadder than the bricks.
Sadder
Yeah,
than the bricks, yeah.
the bricks were pretty sad.
Have you ever heard of? I'm reading my notes as I'm doing this. Have
Hmm.
you ever heard of a place in Georgia called Oscarville?
Oscarville, no.
Yeah,
Where is it? Is
in
it like
Georgia,
north or south?
North Georgia.
Okay.
It's in the Forsyth County.
Okay.
Anyway, during the Reconstruction era, uh, there was a promise to uh, ex slaves that they would get 40 acres and a mule. Now,
Right.
this is not 100% true. They were
Thank you,
offered,
Kendrick Lamar, for reminding us, by the
yes,
way.
thank you, Hendrik. Yes, they were promised 40 acres. The mule part came later, but they
Okay.
were initially uh, promised 40 acres. Now, some people got 40 acres, some people got less than 40 acres, some people didn't get anything at all, but a lot of people did get 40 acres, not necessarily a mule. A lot of people
They
did.
did?
Yes, and a lot of these
I didn't
40
know that.
acres and a lot of this land was um, concentrated into what we call now these black cities or black towns, like
Mm,
Tuskegee and what I'm going to talk about, Oscarville and Tulsa, Arizona. All of these places, these were where black people decided to pull their resources together and live
mm-hmm,
together and
mm-hmm,
build a community
mm-hmm.
because their thing was, look, this is a land of segregation. They are not going to let us participate in anything. We have to build our own community. So that's exactly what they did. They said, okay, if this is going to be segregated, let's segregate. Well, of course, white people saw that these black towns and black communities were doing so well.
Mm, mm-hmm.
They were like,
Yeah,
we got to
yeah.
do something about this before they get too powerful, before they get to what's their favorite word? Uppity.
I was going to
So we have to
say
do something
uppity
about
was a
this.
word.
Yeah. So they would, especially, and I hate to say it, white women would go into these towns, patronage their stores and all their good things for a while, not say anything, just go in and say, oh, I love shopping in black towns, your food is so good, and blah blah blah, yip yip yip. And then later down the road, accuse a black man of raping them.
Or not even that, probably, because I've read some of these accounts, just looking
Yeah.
or saying
Well,
hello
she couldn't
or
they couldn't use
anything.
that argument because they're going into a black town. So people are going to look at you. So what they couldn't abide by was a black man having potentially touching a white woman because the sanctity of white women.
Purity, da 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 da.
Yeah,
Yes, exactly.
whatever. Anyway, not. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, so in Oscarville, everybody seemed to be doing really, really well.
They were doing very, very well. They were doing
Okay.
very, very well. And so the white people in the next town over did not like this. So what they started to
Because
do,
it's a successful town.
yes, because it was a successful town. So
Mhm.
in 1912, that's when things started to kick off with racial conflicts. Um, there were several white farmers in the area under economic stress, and they blamed it on black landowners. So, for several months prior to the events in Oscarville, a dispute between a black boy and a white girl at a peach orchard in the nearby town called Plainville. Uh, they said, "Oh, this little black boy is harassing this white girl." So
Mhm.
they attempted to lynch
Mm.
several black men, not the boy, but several black men
Yeah.
for resisting them handing over this boy so that they can kill him. So that's when it started. Anyway, there was a whole bunch of things that led up to the downfall of Oscarville, like the rape and murder of May Crow. She was a young girl who was, they said she was between the ages of 18 and 19. She was found in a field unresponsive, and they found out that she had been bludgeoned to death and also raped. So what they did was that they just blamed some black guys for doing that without any proof.
Hmm.
Talked about the night riders. They would simply get on their horses in the middle of the night, and in Forsyth County, and they would just terrorize communities, black communities. So what had happened was, there is a process in the not process. There is a legal right that the government can do by claiming land. It's called eminent domain. So
Mhm.
eminent domain, they were like, we're going to take all of this land now. Thank you very much. Find somewhere else to go. Sometimes they were given warnings
To
and
all those
sometimes they weren't.
people
All of them.
in
All of them
Oscarville.
in Oscarville. They told them to leave.
Dang.
Yes. They said to them, leave or be killed.
How many people were there? Like, what
There
was the.
were 1,100 residents, and 55 of them who owned land, 58, excuse me, of them owned land there. And they just
Wow.
told them to move. We're taking this land.
Where
After the
did they
government had given
go?
it to them,
Yeah. Where did they go?
they just
Everywhere.
dispersed. Nobody knows where they went. Nobody was. So, what happened to this town? They
It's totally
made
eliminated.
Lake Lanier.
Oh my gosh.
Oscarville is under Lake
That's
Lanier.
where it is?
Yep.
I know that lake.
Hmm. And underneath it is Oscarville. They flooded it. They said, leave. We're putting a lake here.
Oh my gosh. Isn't that a really haunted lake?
Yeah, that's what they say. It's haunted.
Yeah, I've heard about this lake. I mean, I know it because I've heard about the hauntings and everything.
Hmm.
That was the city? I
Yep.
had no idea. I knew there was a city there, but I didn't know that that was the city. Oh my gosh. That's crazy.
Hmm. Okay, friend.
Okay. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Yes, it was nice to see everybody. So, if you are listening on Spotify, and if you are watching on YouTube, and if you are following us on Facebook, please like, share, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell so that you know when we post a new video. So, ding, ding, baby, ding, ding.
It's somewhere around there. Just find the bell and push it, man.
Yeah,
It's,
it's at the
it's not
bottom.
that big of a deal. Just push it.
Just hit it.
Ah,
Like, like, like,
push it.
like, like.
But push it
Do,
real
do, do,
good.
do. Ah, push it. Okay, friend.
Okay. Have a great day, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Deuces.